Will we ever get America back in fiscal order? President Biden's student loan bailout plan erases debt for some Americans now, only to be back at the same level within 4 years. Joining us now is Russ, Vought, former OMB director and president of the Center for Renewing America, and Michael Faulkender, former assistant Treasury Secretary for Economic Policy and AFPI visiting fellow. All right, Russ, I want to come to you first. So because Joe Biden and Democrats didn't fix the problem of rising college costs, they're just giving folks $10,000. Students are going to be right back where they are today 4 years from now because prices are going to go up. What say you?
No, I agree with that. That's the reality of the situation. If you don't fix the fundamentals of why student loans are so expensive, why education in college is so expensive, you're not going to get off the escalator, and you're just going to add somewhere between $800 and $1 trillion to the national debt, and that's fundamentally unsustainable, and it's unfair to the people that have paid their student loans along the way, or to those who have never had an opportunity to go to college and seek an advanced degree. And so they have made this situation fundamentally worse. Any laughable argument that they had that their Inflation Reduction Act did some good on the deficit has been completely blown away if we already didn't believe that it did something along the way at the beginning.
You know, Michael, when I first came to Congress, there was a great conversation about debt. I think at that point we're at $15 trillion in debt. Paul Ryan had the pathway to prosperity back then, and we were concerned about debt to GDP. But it seems like today, no members of Congress and the media aren't really focusing on the massive debt that we have and the consequence it's going to have on our economy and the wealth of the American people.
You're right, Sean. I remember immediately upon my arrival to the Department of Treasury, we were putting out the financial report of the government, and we were talking about, prior to the pandemic, that we were on an unsustainable fiscal path. In fact, that's what we titled page 2 of the report, is that we're on an unsustainable fiscal path. And then you see the trillions of dollars that have been spent, not just on the pandemic, but long since the recovery started by the Biden administration that caused all of the inflation that we're now incurring. And yet nobody seems concerned about all of the debt service costs that are going to come with it. And so we've gone from just over $20 trillion in debt to now $30 trillion in debt. And without even congressional approval, they're just adding on to it even more with things like these student loan bailout.
Yeah, I know, and I think we have to have a national conversation about how we get our spending under control. I mean, Russ, you know, as Michael made the point, all the spending is leading to more inflation. But here you have states, Pennsylvania, one of them, New Mexico, another. They want to give their citizens, whether it's $500 or $2,000, give them free money to help them deal with inflation, which is only going to drive more inflation.
Yeah, that's not the solution. The solution is to actually do the hard work and balance the budget. And there are two ways that needs to occur. And that growth, you cannot balance the budget without growth. Larry would love to hear that. And you also need spending reductions. You need to have savings at the woke and weaponized bureaucracies that are aimed at the American people. And you need to have common sense reforms to get people back into the labor force, to make sure they are off welfare programs and back participating in the economy so that it grows. That is the way to a balanced budget, and it can be done. We had those kinds of budgets in the Trump administration that Michael and I worked on, and it can be done. Those are the paths to the future, but the Congress needs to go forward and put some of those things in place, and the Biden administration needs to stop spending.
You know, limit your spending, grow your economy, and over time, you're going to come to balance. It's pretty simple stuff, but you can't keep spending like drunken sailors and think that we're going to get to a place of balance. That'll never happen. Michael, I want to talk to you about your piece in the Wall Street Journal. Biden is comparing a student loan bailout to PPP loan recipients, but you highlight some stark differences between PPP and the loan forgiveness of college debt. What are they?
That's right. I mean, if you think about why we introduced the Paycheck Protection Program, it's because we had government-ordered shutdowns of our economy. And yet we needed to make sure that households still had enough money that they could pay their bills and not be desperately searching for money at a time we were having a pandemic. And so we asked businesses to keep employees on the payroll and said that if you did so, we will turn that loan into a grant. We will forgive that loan if you'll keep those workers employed and allow those households to keep having enough money to survive. That's starkly different than somebody who goes to college of their own volition because they want to improve their future income and is going to become one of the higher income people in our society they are going to have plenty of capacity to pay that debt back themselves. And so there's an enormous difference between taking on debt to help others that under a program where we guarantee it's going to be forgiven versus voluntarily taking on debt to improve your own income situation where there never was any notion that we were going to forgive it.
I mean, it's just raw politics coming from the administration. Of course, PPP was meant to be forgiven, and your student debt was not meant to be forgiven. I mean, it's outrageous. Listen, gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me today on Kudlow. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.